Hello, fellow Democrats. It's Tata Sambira again here. So today we're looking at the Women's Assembly. We're going to be looking at the boss, the big boss, who's Miss Lynette, popularly known as Mai Kore. I'm going to be looking at 10 key functions of the Women's Assembly, right? From these functions, I will just rate Miss Kore out of the 10. So we want to see what has been going on in the Women's Assembly, and was Miss Kore doing a good job? Is she doing a good job? So we're going to be rating it out of these 10 key points, right? So let's get the ball rolling. Let's go on. Let's do it. Let's look at the first point. Okay. So this page is very interesting, right? It talks about mobilization, mass mobilization of women to join the movement. Not just them being supporters, but them joining the movement. How does one join? One joins the movement by being a member. By being a member, you have to have a card, you're in the register, your name appears on the database of the Movement for Democratic Change, right? So this happened under Miss Kore or Mai Kore. No, it did not happen, right? This is why when I was rating the National Organizing Secretary, I gave him a 0 again here. The party is not improving. The party is not increasing its membership database, right? In other words, we don't care at all about our members. We only want the supporters, right? But those supporters have to be members. They have to have cards. They have to be in our database, right? So on this point, I would say there's nothing going on. As far as the women's wing is concerned, they didn't increase their membership. And I'm so sure of this. I know my facts. I got my facts right. And if you think otherwise, if you think I'm wrong, I'll ask you again to produce a record to say, Taffy, look, man, you got it wrong. In July 2018, we had 100,000 members. Come May 2019, we're now sitting at 300,000 members, right? But as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing like that. This is not going on. This is not happening, right? So as long as our supporters are not becoming members, we're not doing a good job. It could be in the Youth Assembly, the main wings, the Women's Assembly. We need to get members in. If we don't get members in, we're not doing a good job. It's not just good for someone to remain a supporter. They have to be a member. When you're a member, you feel entitled. You're part of the company. You're a shareholder, right? In other words, you feel more involved, right? So we need to get people in. We need to make them members, right? So on this point, Miss Kore gets a 0. This is a very interesting point again. Most points on the MDC constitution are very interesting because they're very technical. So this one talks about policy making. Are the women being involved in policy making? Is the Women's Assembly holding seminars to say we need a policy like this, we need a policy to empower the girl child? No, this is not happening, right? I've never heard of a seminar being organized by Women's Assembly. You might say, how do you know you're a man? I'm a man, but I have many family members that are part of the districts in the MDC structures, including my mom also. She's part of the district, but she has never gone for any seminar to talk about policy. She doesn't even know. My aunts, my sisters, my cousins, they don't know about this thing. It's not happening. The women are not being involved in the policy formulation. In fact, there's nothing that is going on in this, as far as this point is concerned. Ms. Kore failed to make sure that we have policies that are aligned to ladies, that promote the girl child or the ladies in Zimbabwe, or even the movement for democratic change, right? You can even see with the nominations how they are going. The majority of those that are nominated is male-dominated, right? We're not having our female in. Yeah? We don't have such a policy to say, or at least there should be 10 seats reserved for ladies in each province. We don't have that, right? This is why we're failing to get our ladies in top posts, right? So as far as for policy formulation, seminars, this is not happening. Miss Kore is not doing this. She failed to do this. And again, on this point, I have to score a 0. Just say that scored 0 on the Youth Assembly. Just say that scored a 0 on Vondo. I have to do the same for Miss Kore because we're not crafting policies in the various assemblies of the party. So again, on this point, it's a 0 for Miss Kore. It's a 0. This is talking about confidence building as far as the ladies are concerned. Is the Women's Assembly doing enough to build confidence in the ladies to make sure that they are fully represented, they become better leaders? No, this is not happening. If it's happening, where is it happening? We don't see it. Various people that I talked to, they haven't seen this happening. They haven't seen this taking place, right? We having ladies that are just good at sitting at rallies. They don't have the confidence. They don't think they can do a better job. So again, on this point, Miss Kore is failing, right? She's failing. As much as she talked about improving the girl child, the ladies during the rallies, she talked about this a lot during 2018, right? But there is no implementation. It should not just be about where is it a rally, right? We should have some policy, some document to say, We are going to empower the child, the girl child, the lady in Zimbabwe. This is how we're going to do it. This is how we make sure that we get our ladies out there and we give them the confidence. She's not doing this. A lot of things that are being done in the MDC, it's all rally talk. There's no implementation. You talk of 45,000 party agents. This is the same thing. It's just rally talk, but there's no actual thing that is going on the ground. And again, on this point, I have to give Mai Kore a 0. How are the ladies being promoted or being assisted for them to take over leadership positions in the party? I don't know. If you're not having seminars, if you're not having meetings, if you're not having these small workshops, there's no way that you're going to empower these girls. There's no way that you're going to empower these ladies. That's why our ladies just see themselves as mere praise singers, mere cheerleaders at rallies, because they don't know. They are lacking that empowerment. They are not being built up, right? The Women's Assembly is failing to build up the ladies. It's failing to equip them for powerful position within the party and national, right? That's why we have a big male-dominated organization now. We don't have the powerful ladies. Take, for example, Miss Arambo, when she was still Miss Arambo before she became a rebel. She was very active. She was pro-women. This is what we expect from the Women's Assembly, right? We need to prepare our ladies to take over power, right? We need to have a female president in the movement, right? If we say MDC is a people-driven party, let's empower the girl child, let's empower the ladies, let's be the first party to have a female president in Zimbabwe. We can do this because we have a lot of smart ladies in the movement. Let's empower them. This is the work of the Women's Assembly. This is Mai Kore here. This is not about rallies. Do this. Have seminars, have workshops, empower them, prepare them, equip them for powerful position in the party or a national, right? But as far as I can see in this, as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing is going on. Everything is being said at rallies, but we don't want to hear. It's good to tell us all these things at rally, but we don't just want to hear these things. We want to see the actual work on the ground, right? The girl child has been undermined for a long time in Africa, and this is the chance for ladies to get up. This is the time for ladies to get up. And such institutions, such organs of the party have to function. They have to equip the girl child to take over. Look, I'll go again to the issue of Maureen. Look, if Miss Kore was doing a good job with the ladies, empowering the ladies, at least we would have a nomination for Maureen. But we don't have a nomination for Maureen because the ladies are not being empowered to take over. We have Cecilia in the Youth Assembly who's running for the vice chairperson. She's there alone. I haven't seen Miss Kore encouraging her. I did not see Miss Kore giving her a thumbs up to say, we need to promote this lady. She's there alone, right? Which is very bad. So on this point again, I'll give Miss Kore a 0. This one talks about supporting female members of parliament. These are the legislators. Look, I tried to talk to some female legislators, but they were not really open about it, right? Because it's a sensitive issue to them. Maybe they don't want to go against their boss. So based on that, I don't have enough information because I was relying more on the female legislators, but they were not willing to open up, right? As soon as they are definitely what you want to do, they become quiet. They start like hide themselves, right? So based on that, I would just say I have to give a 1 point here because I don't really know what is going on. The female legislator didn't want to really open up also. So based on that, I just have to say she gets 1 year on the basis that I don't have enough information. So I'll give her 1 on this point. We go to the issue of combating of discrimination against the girl child. What did the Women's Assembly do? What did they do in Parliament? Did they try to put certain laws, certain rules against discrimination of the girl child? Did they try to promote work quotas, for example, employment quotas rather, to say at least if every board of a company, of a corporate organization is supposed to have at least 30% female representation? We didn't see this from the Women's Assembly. We didn't hear them making noise about this. We didn't hear Mai Kore making noise about this. So on this point again, I have to say there's nothing that is going on in the Women's Assembly. The Women's Assembly is not doing its job here. So on this point again, it's rather very unfortunate, but I think Miss Kore is not doing enough. If she's doing something, it's not really enough. We're not seeing the policies. We're not seeing the workshop. We're not seeing a pushing for the drive to promote the ladies here again. So on this point, I have to give her a 0 again. This one talks about laws that have to be enacted or pursued to stop discrimination against women. If you can see, it goes back to the previous point again. They're almost the same, right? So did Mai Kore, did the Women's League push for private bills via the Parliament of Zimbabwe during the last 10 years to say we were pushing for laws that are going to stop discrimination against women in Zimbabwe? No. There were no private bills from the Women's Assembly. There were no private bills from Ms. Kore that were brought before the August House to say we're pushing for such and such a law to stop the discrimination of the girl child, right? There's nothing like that. It didn't happen. It didn't happen from the Women's Assembly. It didn't happen in the Parliament of Zimbabwe. Ms. Kore has not been pushing this, right? She said this a lot at the rallies. She mentioned against discrimination of women, but it's not enough to just talk at the rallies. At least try. We know that the last August House was dominated by ZANU-PF, but at least try to push for it. Like what WOZA does, what WOZA used to do. Try to push for it, right? To push for this bill. Say you want to stop discrimination against women. Then we can say, no, yes, Miss Kore, she's fighting for the women. She's fighting for the Zimbabwean lady, right? But we did not see this, right? We don't want to hear of these things at rallies. We want to see the actual processes taking place on the ground. And if you didn't do anything to push for law changes, if you didn't do anything to present private bills in the August House, that means you have failed. You have failed here, Ms. Kore. This is one of the most key functions of your job, right, under the MDC constitution. You were supposed to do this, to present at least bills in Parliament, right? Never mind that they will block it. They might block it, but do your job, present your bills, say you're going to do this for the ladies, you're going to do this for the girl child. We didn't see this from you again, Ms. Kore. So on this point, it's a straight zero again. So there's a saying that says women's rights are human rights, right? So did Ms. Kore push for this, for the recognition of women's rights as human rights? I'll just give it the benefit of the doubt. I would just say as long as the Constitution of Zimbabwe recognizes the rights of the women, right? So based on the Constitution of Zimbabwe, I would say at least the Women's Assembly might have done something. So on this point, I would give my full mark. I think the Women's Assembly was pushing for this, and we have it in the Constitution of Zimbabwe. So I would say, based on this point, the fact that women's rights are recognized in Zimbabwe, it might have been a push from all assemblies, right, from the Women's Assembly and the various organizations. So based on this, I'll give a full mark here. So we back again to the issue of giving the girl child or the ladies more power, right? This point talks about promotion of women's participation, right? So are we doing enough? Is Mai Kore doing enough? Is she doing enough? I'll just give you two examples again. The name that I mentioned earlier on, this being Maureen, and again the Cecilia, the one that is running for the vice chairperson of the MDC Youth Assembly, right? There's not enough support from the Women's Assembly rather, to give these ladies enough power, to make sure that these ladies are represented and they're making decisions also. They're at the top. We don't have that, right? The MDC current nominations in this seat, they only have the VPs on top, right? In fact, they had to reserve a seat for the VP. It's only that seat in the standing committee. Do we have other ladies up there that are coming up? No, we don't have. We have Tabitha Kumalo nominated for the chairman's post, right? Chairperson's post. Those are the only two ladies. The rest of them, they are nowhere to be seen, right? We don't need such, right? We need 50% representation, right? And it's lacking. And this is the duty, this is the responsibility of the Women's Assembly, it's the responsibility of Mai Kore to push for these things, to make noise in the MD, say, no, we want these things, right? If we get them, then we are sorted, we are fine. But it's not happening, right? I'm talking as if I'm a lady, but I'm not. But I feel like we have capable ladies. I have respect for MDC ladies. They are very smart. They are hardworking. I see them at rallies. I see them at demos. They are always leading. They are always in front. I saw them being polling agents again last year in 2018. They inspire me. They give me hope, right? So I'm very disappointed that the Women's Assembly is failing these ladies. They deserve more in the MDC. They really deserve, and most of you would agree that ladies deserve more in the MDC. So I'm asking myself, if Mai Kore becomes vice president, what is she going to do for the lady that she has failed to do when she was chairperson of the Women's Assembly, right? It's a worrying trend. I know she might get the seat, she might get the post, right? But we don't want to just give posts. We want to give posts to people that work for this post. We want to make sure that we give posts to people that are going to deliver, right? If you get a post and you don't deliver, it's nothing, right? We don't want a situation of someone being a vice president but acting like Muzenda, the old Muzenda, the late Muzenda. We don't want that. We want people that are going to participate, bring up policies, do something for the ladies, do something for the nation, for the party. We don't want to just give position because we reserve such a seat, such a post for ladies. No, you have to work for it. And based on these duties, these functions of the Women's Assembly, I would say Mai Kore will not make a good VP unless if she improves. She talks at rallies, but MDC guys can talk at rallies, but the implementation is lacking. So on this point again, it's a 0 for Miss Kore. The last point, but it's very important point, it's a huge point. It talks about training, formulate and carry out training for the ladies, the members of the Women's Assembly, right? Did this happen? Is it happening? No, it's not happening. People are sitting there. Mai Kore is busy talking at rallies, but not training these ladies. That's why we don't have good top guys at the top that are ladies, right? It's because of this. The ladies are lacking the training. If you don't get trained, you lack confidence, right? So the MDC Women's Assembly is supposed to train ladies. It's supposed to empower them, equip them, give them knowledge. We have some girls that are out there that are very smart, right? Bring them in, teach them about leadership, tell them that you can do this, you can break the ceiling, right? We need ladies to be trained. We just don't want them to be used singing at rallies only. No, that thing should end, right? The ladies should be trained. And as far as I'm concerned with the research that I did, right, way back since last year, this thing is not happening, right? The ladies are not being trained. MDC Women's Assembly does not hold seminars, workshops to train its members. It's not happening. Our ladies are not being trained. Our mothers and sisters are not being trained. They only know of going to rallies and singing and shouting, right? Which is very ridiculous, but they are the majority. So they have to be trained. They have to be equipped. They have to be trained for these posts, senior posts in the party, in the nation, right? They have to be trained to make decisions, good, solid, strong decisions, right? We need to put them on an equal footing with the men, right? So Mai Kore did not do a good job. The Women's Assembly is failing. They did not train their members. So on this point again, it's a 0 for Miss Kore, right? So how did Miss Kore perform? I said she gets 2 out of 10, which is like 20%, right? Out of 100. You can see that she's lacking a lot of area that has to do with policy, training. Same goes for the Youth Assembly also. Same thing where we saw it on Ditchbaya. Same thing we saw it on Morgan Comich. So we're having leaders that are not capable of leading in the movement, right? What should we do? These guys are popular. They might win again, right? We need to train these guys, take these guys for training. They have to be trained, right? The party needs to make a budget for this guy to go for training. We need this guy to get degrees, diplomas in international relations, or go for international workshops so that they equip, they know. As it is right now, they know nothing. They know talking of rallies and everything, right? But we need them to be better people. We need them to be sharp. We need them to be good on the street and good on the offices and good with politics again. So thank you so much, Zimbabwe. I know it's getting heated up. We're getting towards close of the Congress. So the big thing that is going to come is the rating, the roast of Nelson Chamisa on the 20th of May, right? So thank you so much, guys. God bless you all.